Hi guys, you're welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be teaching us how to make this asymmetric blouse with bishop sleeves. So let's get started. So I'm going to be drafting a full bodice and I'll be showing us the steps. Now first thing, your paper has to be unfold. Okay, so if you don't have a large chunk of paper, you can join it with sellotape like I've done here. So this is my shoulder line for both the front and back. Okay, I have two rectangles, front and back. So this is the chest line, front and back. Distance from shoulder to chest line is half of the armhole circumference. Then shoulder to the bust point, shoulder to the waistline for front, shoulder to the waistline for the back, and shoulder to the hip line. That is where I want the length of my blouse to get to. Okay, yeah. So we'll go straight to the drafting. Now on the shoulder line, I will mark half of my across back measurement, which is 7 for me. You have to measure yours. So you mark the same thing on the chest line, and you mark the same thing on the back too, on the shoulder and the chest line. Half of the across back measurement. Okay, so I'll just use my ruler to roll down or square down like this. So next thing, on the chest line, I will mark quarter of my bust circumference plus 1 inch for side seam allowance. Then on the back, same thing, from the center back, I'll mark quarter of my bust plus 1 inch for side seam allowance. Now coming to the front, I'll mark quarter of my waist circumference plus 1 inch for that intake. So that will be 8.5, then 1 inch for side seam. I'll mark the same value at the back. Quarter of waist plus 1 inch for that, then 1 inch for side seam allowance. So it's just on the waistline that you have the darts intake. On the hemline, you mark quarter of the hip plus 1 inch for side seam. And I'll mark the same thing on the back, starting from the center back. Quarter of the hip plus 1 inch for side seam allowance. Okay, now just before, okay, let me connect the front. So seam allowance to seam allowance, measurement to measurement. That's from the chest line to the waistline to the hemline. Okay, yeah, so the front pattern is taking shape already. Then for the back, okay, before we go ahead to draw the lines at the side, I'm going to come in by 1 inch on the waistline from the center back line. We want to adjust the center back so that our zipper is not having this bulge. So now my center back is now curved, as you can see. Don't worry, I'll shift the paper later. I didn't know the camera would not capture that part well, but you'll see it later. I'll move it later. So I'll just blend that. So this is now my center back is now curved. Then I can mark my zipper allowance 1 inch away from that line. On the hemline, the chest line, and of course the shoulder line. So I'm going to link all points together, and I'll just show us what I've done. And the center back, then you'll see the zipper allowance. Okay, so then now that 1 inch that we took in on the waistline, we have to add it back to the side here, else you're going to be short of 1 inch on the waistline. Okay, so the essence of taking on the 1 inch on the other side on the center back is to give the back shape, okay, and avoid your fabric from bulging or the zipper. Now I'm going to mark half of my bust span, which is 4. Bust span is your nipple to nipple measurement. So mine is 8 and I'm doing 4 since it's on fold. I'll mark the same thing on the back pattern. Don't worry, I'm still going to show the back pattern later. Okay, so I can mark the same thing on the waistline so that I have a straight line. So I'm going to connect together like so. Now to construct my darts, I want to be marking 1/2 inch on both sides of the bust band line. Same thing at the back, 1/2 inch on both sides for our dart intake. Then the dart should stop 1 or 2 inches before the hip line, which I'm already marking. And then for the front, the dart to stop 1 or 1.5 inch before the bust point. Okay, so I want to draw my dart lines now. Okay, so your dart should stop 2 inches before the hip line, okay, or 1.5 inch. So this is my front dart, and then for the back, my dart will start from the chest line. Okay, for the back dart. Okay guys, so this is the back. So I was saying we came in by 1 inch from the original line we drew here, and then connected it to the hip and the waistline before we now mark out our zipper allowance. Okay, well, you understand? So that's what I did at the back there, basically. Then that 1 inch we took in there, we added it back to the waistline. Okay, yeah, so that sorts that out. Now we're gonna go to the neckline. Let me just construct my back dart. Now for my neckline, I'll be doing 3 inches. So I'll just mark 3 inches for my neck width. Yeah, the neck is quite high. So I'll just mark 3 inches for my neck width. I won't do the neck depth yet. So this is 3 inches at the back. Then my shoulder slant is 1 inch for both back and front, like this. Then I'll use my ruler to create my shoulder slant, like so. Then we can go ahead to create the armhole. So for the armhole, for the front, or let's start with the back first. I will measure from the chest line to the slanted shoulder, find the midpoint, then come in by 1/2 inch. For the front, I'll find the midpoint too, and go in by 3/4 inch. Then I'll use my French curve to create the curve of my armhole, the back and front respectively. Yeah, so basically this is a pattern. So I have separated the front and back. This is my back, and I've pinned it up to like close to the chest line. Then for the front pattern, okay, my neck depth, I'll be doing 3 inches. Okay, so let me trim the center front first. I'll open up the pattern, then I'll come down by 3 inches from the center front. Okay, because one side is going to be an off shoulder, so I'll come down by 3. And then for this side, I'll be an off shoulder. You can come down as low as 1.5. Okay, but anything beyond that is going to become very off, and it's supposed to be just slightly off, right? So I'll just come down by 1.5. That's because we already came down by 1 inch initially, right? So with the help of my curve, I'm going to create the style line for my neckline, starting from the right hand side like that. Then I'll use my curve to complete the neckline on this other side. So you can see that the neckline is quite high, and the off shoulder part here is not really off, just slightly off, right? So we'll be trimming off this unwanted parts. So after trimming off these unwanted parts, I'm going to place this on my back pattern so that the back and front pattern can have the same style line. Here. So my front pattern is ready. Okay. Then yeah. So I'll place the back pattern under my front pattern now, and then I'm going to cut out So after cutting, this is where you're going to be having the front and back patterns. And then now I want to shape the side so that I don't have a straight hemline. Okay, so what I'll do is on the back pattern, I'm going to come up by 2 inches. You can go up than that, you can do 1 inch, but I don't want it to have a very straight look. So from the side, I'm going to go up by 2 inches. Okay, then I'm going to shape it with my pattern master so that I have like a curved hemline, not the usual straight. So you can see how my hemline is. So you're curving towards the side. Okay, then I would also want my front to have something like this so that the sides can be equal. Okay, so this is my front pattern. I'm going to place the back pattern on the front pattern. Okay, all right, so since my marking is on the other side, I'll just use my tracing wheel. I'll trace this so that I can show on the other side. Makes it easy for everybody. Okay, so I'm just going to trace this. That's because I want it to show on the other side, right? So I'm just going to trace that out with my marker. All right. Okay, so now I can comfortably place this on my front pattern so that my side front and my side back can be the same thing. Okay, so here I'm placing my front pattern on the back so that the sides can be the same. So I'm just going to trim off. Then for my front pattern, I want the center front to have this basque look, not exactly very sharp, but slightly longer. Okay, so I'm going to use my curve to extend the center front. So this is my back pattern here. Now I'll use my French curve to extend this to make my center front a bit longer, but the front and back are still equal at the sides. Yeah, so I'm just going to do that. So let me just say this is a cutting tutorial. So if you would like me to post the sewing tutorial of this blouse, you can indicate that in the comment section. So here I'm just extending it a little bit beyond the line like that. So I'm just going to cut out. Then after cutting out, I'll go ahead and transfer all of this to my fabric. Yeah, and be mindful of the position of the pattern on your fabric. So here, this is it here. You can see the basque look, and this is my back pattern. Okay, now I will transfer to my fabric. Here we are. So this is it here, and I'll also be cutting lining for this. Now for the sleeve is a bishop sleeve. I have done like 2 tutorials on how to draft a bishop sleeve. Yeah, so I'm just going over what I've said again. This is my pattern here for the front and the back. Okay, for the fabric, and then for the sleeve, I said it's a bishop sleeve. Okay, I will drop the link in the description box. Okay, so for the bishop sleeve, is very simple. You just draw slash lines on your basic sleeve pattern, and then you cut open and spread it like this. Yeah, so I'll drop both tutorials in the description box, the basic sleeve and the bishop sleeve. Okay, so that will be the end of this particular class. If you would like me to do the sewing tutorial, just comment in the comment section. Thank you.